All right, hello everybody. This video is going to walk you through a little bit of how to kind of navigate StudentVue, which is the online portal where you can check your grades, probably most importantly, among other things. So I'm going to show you a few of the features that you'll probably use, but mostly we're going to be talking about, well, how do I check my grades and what kind of resources are available for me on here. So the first thing you'll see when you log into StudentVue, which you can access through, there's a link on my classroom page. There's probably links everywhere, or it's just svue.psdschools.org. Probably a good site to bookmark if you haven't done it, but at some point you should. But you'll see this homepage, so it won't have this little emoji here. It'll have a picture of your face. It'll have your name here, your student ID number. If you have any current messages, like your teachers have sent you messages, those will show up on the home page. You can also access all your messages here. So you can see this sample person has 8 messages, but only 1 is showing up here because this is the message that the person maybe hasn't read yet or hasn't had a chance to close away. You'll also see over here on the home page the recent history, so things that your teachers have input into the gradebook. You can see the points and the scores that you've gotten on those things. You can see kind of where those things, what classes those are in, what those assignments are called, all that sort of stuff. But probably the most important page to go to, if you look along the side here, is this one called Gradebook. So let's click on that. It's going to load for just a split second, but then it's going to take me to my gradebook. So again, up here in the corner, I can see who I am, and then I see all of my classes and the grades that are in there. Since I'm making this video before school has started, there's not a lot of assignments in there, but I put some sample grades in this person's gradebook just to kind of show you what these are going to look like. So this will show me a broad overview. There's this big bold number. That's kind of my rounded grade, and then my actual more accurate grade is this one right here with the 2 decimal points. So you can see this person right now is a 2.99 in English. We'll talk a little bit if you haven't had a chance yet to know what that number means, but that gets rounded to a 3. You can also see over here this person has 1 missing assignment in this class right now. So let's say that person wants to investigate that and wants to figure out, well, wait, what do I have missing? I thought I turned everything in. All they have to do is click on the class, and then they can see a little bit more detail of what their grade looks like. So again, it says 1 missing assignment here. It has their grade here, and then it has this bar graph. Bar graph's not super important, but it will show you that, like, you know, the green bar is your score on all summatives here. This is the green bar is your score on all formatives. This green bar is your score on work habits. The blue bars you can kind of ignore. That just shows the weighting, right? Because summatives weigh more than formatives, which weigh more than work habits. But what you really want is to scroll on down to see sort of the breakdown, right? So this is the breakdown underneath here where it says assignments. These are all the assignments in that particular class. There's a couple of important things to point out. It will show you the name of the assignment. It'll show you your score on the assignment in this column. And then it will show you, if you look over here, there might be some notes. There might be a big bold red note. So for this person, the missing score is this homework parts of speech number 2. So they would want to investigate what that assignment is if they needed to turn that in. So you can also see, like this one here, this was a formative, so that's like more like a quiz. They got a 2.5. That's a score you want to retake, so there's a note here that says, please make an appointment to retake an ELO. If you don't know how to do that yet, we're going to talk about it later. But all of that gets calculated into their overall total score, which is down here at the bottom. Let me talk about one thing that I specifically do in my gradebook that could potentially help you. If you look at this missing tab, if I wanted to see what assignment this was, you'll notice there's also this column here that says resources. Everything's got a 0 except these 2 right here, these work habit ones. There's a 1 there for resources, there's a 1 there for resources. I want to get the resource for this missing assignment because I missed something important. So if I click on the actual assignment, then it'll tell me all that information that I had access to. But down here under resources, what it will say is it has the name of the resource. So if you see the description says that this is the actual assignment, it's called Parts of Speech Homework 2. If I were to click on this link, you can see it's turned into something I can click on, right? So if I were to click on that link, it's going to take me to the actual assignment and what it looks like. So I can click on that link. It's loading for me here in another page, but I'll bring it over here so you can see it. And it shows me this is the assignment that I have missing. So I can think to myself, well, did I ever see that assignment? Was I finding that assignment on Google Classroom? Did I do that assignment and not turn it in? And you can kind of play detective on like, well, why is this missing in the gradebook? Could be just that Mr. Graham made a mistake. That's been known to happen in the past, hopefully not too often, but you can investigate that as well. So that resources section is really important as well, particularly for anything that shows up as missing. So again, if we want to go back to the gradebook, click there, and click into English, you can see the breakdown, right? So this one, 4 out of 4, that's great. This one's got a 0 right now because it's missing. So that's, if you look, there's 2 work habit scores. One of them I got full credit on, I got a 4. One of them I got nothing on. So if you see up here, that shows that right now my work habit score is 50% of what it could be, right? Same thing with the formatives and the summatives. There's 2 formatives. One of them's a 2.5 and a 3.5. So that calculates out to over here on formatives. That calculates out to like that percentage out of the formatives. And I did pretty well in my summative down here. I got a 384, so that gives me, you know, that score out of overall. So the math is really kind of complicated sometimes. What's most important, I would say, is looking at the notes on your assignments as you're investigating. And then, of course, just making sure that your grades are always in a place that you want them to be. If they're not, and you want to improve them, that's you know, a reason you could go talk to a teacher in ELO. You could try and look through resources if teachers are using those. You can try and, you know, study for upcoming tests and all that sort of stuff. But StudentVue is that really, really valuable resource that's going to help you stay on top of your grades.